Welcome to the Success Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Christian Evans. This podcast is about helping improve our relationship with nutrition and exercise to achieve success in our fitness journey. In today's podcast, I'll share how I'm living with the regret of not reaching out more. But first, a word from our sponsors. Did you achieve success in your fitness journey and want to share it with the world? Are you a health or fitness professional that can share your expertise to help those who haven't yet? If yes, then you could be my next guest on the Success Fitness Podcast. Click the link in my bio to sign up, then set up your profile. Once set up, book your slot. I hope to have you on my podcast soon. Are you in the Peoria, Illinois area? Are you looking for a personal trainer that will focus on you to help achieve success in your fitness journey? If yes, please book your in-person or Zoom one-on-one personal training sessions with me, Christian Evans, at christiansweightsuccess.net. All of this snow has me blocked in, but that doesn't mean my ability to reach out is too. I should have checked in on them more, but now I'm here in tears in a state of disbelief. It's cold, early, and windy on this Friday morning of February 2022. The temperature is slowly climbing from -6 degrees from midnight to 15 degrees currently. The gusty winds are sweeping past my window, so I finally get out of my bed after laying there for the past 20 minutes. It sure doesn't feel like it's warming up, but how can I really tell? It's still below freezing. As I wake up from my cold slumber, there is a bright white hue coming from my bedroom window. I peek through the blinds from my bedroom upstairs to see the ground is blanketed with snow. They were right this time. It really happened. According to the National Weather Service office in Lincoln, Illinois, I'm looking at a total of 6.6 inches of snow that fell overnight. We finally have a snowstorm that I didn't believe would hit. They always warned us of potential snowstorms in the past that never came true, but this time they were right. I told my clients the day before that I would text them in the morning if our sessions were still on, pending on the weather. Looking outside, far as my eyes can see, the street isn't plowed, let alone my driveway. It looks like I'll have to cancel these sessions if I can't get my driveway shoveled. In a way, I'm looking forward to shoveling the snow. It'll be my workout for the day. I make my way downstairs to make a fresh cup of coffee. I can still hear the wind blowing and I'm nervous. The cold hits different when there's high winds involved. I put the fresh brewed coffee in my Contigo cup to head outside to shovel the snow. But first, I gotta lace up these Timberland boots. I only bring them out for situations like this. I'm layered up in clothes, a shirt, a hoodie, a pair of shorts, 2 pairs of socks, and a coat. But for some reason, I can only find one glove. I've been meaning to buy some gloves since last winter, but never got around to it. I make my way to the garage with coffee in hand to push the button to raise the garage door. As the door raises, it resembles the bright white light one sees in movies in the afterlife. I haven't seen snow like this in years. It's at this moment I regret not having a snowblower. This is a lot of snow, and I don't know if I can shovel all of it from my driveway. There are 3 stalls, which means I need to clear the way for all of them. Even if I do get this snow out of the way, what would be the purpose? Because the streets are just as deep with snow. This is a battle I can't win, so I turn around to go back upstairs as I hit the button to close the garage. It looks like I'm going to have to buckle down because I'm snowed in. I text my clients letting them know all sessions are canceled. I can't get out of my driveway and the streets are not plowed. This is fresh snow, and I would be surprised if the city came out this early to plow my street. Looks like today's workout will be in my home gym. Thank you, Lord, for this provision. It's early May of 2017, and I'm walking into Planet Fitness in Chicago to meet him for the first time. This feels weird to meet someone that I've been chatting with online. Since I'm up here for the Chicago Fit Expo, I decided to link up with him for a workout and interview. Mario Kaleo, aka Mr. One More Round. His mantra is, "Your fight ain't over." I first connected with Mario back in late 2015 because of his weight loss journey. He had recently lost a fair amount of weight, so that's what drew me to him. I had just came off my weight loss journey, so it was natural to connect with those who did as well. On top of that, he had a growing YouTube, plus he liked CT Fletcher. Mario always posted motivational content that I was low-key jealous about. I was jealous because he had this on camera confidence and comfortability that seemed so natural. I wanted to know how he did it. Being on camera made me nervous up until the point it was time to record. I wanted to see if he could help me with that as well. We can get into all of that after this workout during our interview. We agreed to interview each other for our YouTube channels after the workout. This will be one of my first YouTube collabs, so I'm excited and nervous at the same time. From the moment he walked in, he smiled as we greeted each other. The bass in his voice was real from what I would hear online. In my head, I'm like, this guy is the real deal. You never know if people are putting on an act online, but as we chatted, this wasn't an act. We recorded our workout and almost got kicked out of Planet Fitness. It's funny because Planet Fitness has this rep for being judge-free, but it seems their intent is to judge. We still recorded when we could and laughed about it. As we guerrilla shot the vids, we talked about our weight loss journey, YouTube, and life in Chicago. I learned he's an Uber driver as well. During that time, I was a heavy Uber driver back home trying to make ends meet as I figured this personal training and YouTube creator life out. After the workout, we got in our cars and interviewed each other for our respective channels. This guy is a natural. The voice, the energy, the personality was all there. I realized how robotic I was, so I asked him, how can I get rid of that? How do you do it? His reply was the old saying of, just be yourself. That was tough for me because I realized I was the one putting on a persona online. I was trying to be too perfect, too sharp, and focusing too much on not messing up. He let me know it's okay. Just let it flow. I felt closer to him as a friend after that day due to his true genuineness. We kept in touch after that, but I wish I would have reached out more. Life became busier with personal training, clients, and creating content, but I would always see him online. Every Friday, he would post this video of Jean-Claude Van Damme dancing with the quote, TGIF. Later that evening, as the wind gusts from the remnants of the snowstorm is blowing over my house, I'm shocked by what I see when I open my IG app. R.I.P. Mario. What the hell is this about? Nah, this can't be true. Not at all. Nope. I'm switching from app to app, inboxing people that I knew was in his circle. It was confirmed. He had passed. Immediately, tears are rolling from my eyes as I think how he inboxed me happy birthday 2 months prior. I have a hole in my gut. I'm hurt. Not Mario. How did this happen? Why didn't I know about this? I realize I'm not going to know everything. How can I if I'm not the one checking in on him? Or my other friends? Why is it that I'm shocked of not knowing what's going on if I'm not the one checking in? I felt so guilty and hurt all at the same time. With respect to Mario's family, he passed away due to a condition he had been dealing with that he kept to himself or ones closest to him. I did notice his posts were less frequent that week and the week prior, but I thought he was taking a break from social media like we all do. Him passing away? Nah, not him. Not Mario. I'm not believing this one. I should have checked on him more. Now I'm here in disbelief with tears in my eyes. Just because I'm snowed in and can't go anywhere does not mean I can't reach out by phone. It still works. The regret of not reaching out more is something I'll have to live with until I'm gone. Cherish your loved ones while they're here. Check on your friends, especially your strong friends, the ones that motivate you daily. They're reaching deep within themselves to illuminate positivity for you and the world to keep pressing on in this fight of life. Mario's mantra was, your fight ain't over. He was a big boxing fan, a Rocky fan at that. I would always see him post clips from that movie in his IG story. In that moment of processing the news, I'm scrolling through his IG to realize he had been fighting something for a while. He always appeared to be happy and vibrant when we did chat, even though he was in a fight for his life. Buddy, you don't have to fight anymore. Your fight is over. You won. Long live Mario. This post is dear to my heart. This podcast is dear to my heart. It started off as a post, and I wanted to record it to get this off my chest. I've been holding this in for a while, and my eyes filled up as I wrote this, but as I'm saying this into this microphone, I feel better. I've been holding it in for a while, and it's not about me. It's not about me 100%. It's about, yes, my experience that I'm sharing with you. But what I want you to get out of this is to make sure you are checking on your friends. I don't want you to be the one living in regret because, Lord forbid, something bad happens to somebody close to you. Life happens. I know we get busy. We get caught up in trying to make the most out of the 24 hours in a day. And yes, we can think about, hey, they're not checking up on me, but that's not what the focus is right now. If somebody is on your heart, what is it to send a text? What is it to send a Facebook message or an Instagram message or a phone call, at that? We can do what we can when we want to. And when we're not checking in on our friends or family or loved ones, it really goes to show, where our mind is at. And this is not a guilt trip. Please don't interpret this as a guilt trip. This is looking back because hindsight is 2020. And I just remember weeks prior to that, I'm scrolling through, Instagram, and I would see he would, post, and I just wouldn't reach out. I'm like, okay, that's Mario. I think we all get like that when we are used to seeing somebody post kind of similar content every day. You're like, okay, that's just them. That's just them posting or whatever. And then I stopped seeing the posts. And I'm like, maybe he's taking a break, because we would talk about that. We would talk about that when we did talk just about social media and the daunting effects of it, the pressure of having to be on, having to post every day to get people's attention. Mr. One More Round had his comic, and I was so proud of him starting his own comic book line. And he was so proud. He was so proud of that. And I was proud of him too. When he released it, I tried to make sure I promoted it as much as possible. I do regret not purchasing it, but we chatted about it, and he was on the comic book circuit, trying to get the comic book off to the right people and, all that jazz. I remember I was so proud of him when he spoke at C.T. Fletcher's Iron War. I don't know if it was 4 or 5, but anyway, he did. And I was so happy for him. We would always chat about C.T. Fletcher, and he had a relationship, with him. And, it really hit home when C.T. posted it on his IG about rest in peace Mario when he found out, just as well. And it was just, it was a sad moment. I was showing my girlfriend at the time of when he passed. And I'm like, can you believe this? I showed it to her, and I didn't know I was going to start crying, but I did. I'm like, this is crazy, because it's a peer. It's a peer. And, as you get older, and I'll be 41 next month, and you start to think about life a lot more, and the longevity of it, it does depend on you, what you do right now, your diet, your exercise, your lifestyle. And I'm not saying that to say Mario's was not intact. I will say I do not know 100% what happened. Just the bottom line is that I'm speaking for myself and speaking to you of control what you can. That is your lifestyle, that is your diet, that is your exercise, and everything that comes with that. And what you can control is your communication to and with your loved ones, the ones you care about, your friends that you've met online. Some people you may not have met face to face, but you have some type of communicational relationship with them. And just with that being said, even if it's once a week, just in the inbox, hey, how you doing? Check in on them. People believe that the strong friends don't need to be checked on, and they do. They have a lot more going on than you think. And the ability to stay mentally strong in the midst of being surrounded by weakness, being surrounded by temptation, being surrounded by the same things you are surrounded by. They just have a different way to look at it. They have a look of optimism and not taking situations for what they are. They try to look at the positive, the flip side of it. I can be that way too. And some days I'm not. And on those days I'm not, I'm looking for some type of motivation or inspiration. How many days have we wanted to work out or not wanted to work out, and we see somebody working out online and you're like, you know what? I can literally feel that movement that they're doing. And that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. There have been days where you don't feel like getting out of bed, but you open your phone and you hear a motivational speech from somebody and your outlook changes. You're like, okay, you know what? Let me go conquer this day. Let me get up. Let me be thankful for my life that I do have, because some people didn't wake up. Some people did not wake up. Some people did not wake up. And the more the Lord blesses me to wake up another day, I do cherish that gift, that blessing of being in my right mind, my right spirit, and the Lord allowing me to wake up and see another day. And I try to utilize that to motivate you, motivate those who see me, motivate those who hear me, even though things aren't that, I would say, great from what I personally want in my life at the moment. And we all have ups and downs. We all have those moments. But I believe in those moments when you're down, it's how can you pick yourself up? How can you motivate somebody else to pick themselves up, even though you are still on the ground? And I believe that is a gift. I believe that is a gift that we can bless others with. And even though we're down, even though we're getting beat up, we can still offer optimization of hope, optimal hope, an optimistic look at hope, an optimistic look at getting back up, even though I may be down myself. And even speaking those things, calling things that are not as though they are. If I'm down, and I can speak that life into me and say, I'm going to get up. You're going to get up if you're down. You have to speak it into existence before it happens. But I do thank you for taking time out to listen to this podcast. I know it's kind of lengthy, but it's worth it. My dear friend, Mario, he passed. And even as I'm saying these words into this microphone right now, I'm getting kind of worked up just a little bit, just really thinking about just life and caring and not being able to hear his voice in real time currently. But I can always go back to videos. I can always go back to the podcasts that we did together, and you can get all that, my experiences with Mario, in my blog post that I wrote that has the Instagram videos and YouTube videos and podcasts that we recorded. And that is on my blog, christiansweightsuccess.net. And I'll just link it in the show notes. But if anything to take away from this podcast, just remember to, cherish your loved ones. You never know how much time they have. You never know how much time you have. But, live your life to the fullest. Speak words and positivity into your life, into somebody else's life, and be a beacon. Be a beacon of inspiration. Be a beacon of inspiration. Be a beacon of motivation. And just realize everybody is going through something one way or another. Some better than the others. Some may be worse. But just thank God for your life that you are alive today, listening to me ramble on here. I thank God for that provision to where I don't have to Uber like that anymore. Depending on the slow seasons, I may have to start doing some Instacarting, but the Lord has and always will provide. If you found inspiration in today's podcast and would like to support, then sign up to my weekly newsletter, the Success Fitness Newsletter. Get 10% off my new e-cookbook, What to Meal Prep for Beginners, when you click the link in the show notes. It includes 3 recipes for one high-protein meal under 600 calories, step-by-step written instructions, video tutorials, and a free workout ebook. Again, the link is in the show notes. And this brings us to the end of another episode of the Success Fitness Podcast. Thank you for listening, and remember this: when the pressures of life begin to weigh on you, the mentality of more weight must set in. The only thing that situation can do is make you stronger. If any situation is not making you stronger, simply chant more weight, more weight, more weight. Peace out.